everyone, it's Sharonda from Payroll Waits, and today I'm going to be reviewing Cruel Summer, episode 5, as the Carney Guide. So this week's episode is taking place on, I believe it's July 29th, 93, 94, 95. Y'all know how this groove goes. So I'm going to split this up between Kate's story and Jeanette's story. So we'll start with Kate. So we see in 93 that Kate's mom was really bold. I was like, sis, so you sitting up here flirting with people in front of the whole town? Like you just sitting up here flirting in front of your husband? I was just like, what is happening? Kate saw it. She's asking Jamie and his friend, like, do y'all see this? And they were like, what? Your mama talking to someone and your dad just popped up, like, what are you talking about? But basically, Kate still has these suspicions about her mom. Obviously, the words that Ashley said to her in last week's episode is still speaking to her, like, is my mama a gold digger? Is she probably the one who's cheating? I don't know. I mean, you know your mama ain't this, but it is what it is. So, we see that, we also see in this is that later in the 93, we see her interaction with Martin. And so we see that because of the conversation that they have when they're on the hunting trip, and now she's developed like this infatuation with him. But I was happy that as she's reliving this memory of when she meets Martin at the carnival, which is something that she later reveals when we go to 95, that she didn't tell the cops about when they actually found her, is that she went to talk to Martin. And essentially, like, he was grooming her. And I was really happy that the therapist was able to identify this to her, because a lot of people in these relationships, or, you know, they might be flirting with someone that's older than them, is you don't realize that they've been grooming you since at a young age in order to feel like this relationship is appropriate, but also too to get you to have some type of attraction to them. And so I was really happy that she was able to identify that, because when I say I was creeped out on that whole like conversation between them flirting, him telling her that he thought that when he first saw her that she was an adult and that she was like a part of like the mom's group, it was just, I was cringing. I was literally cringing, like, I can't believe that you're telling this young girl this. Not only a young girl, but this is one of your students. So I was just highly confused about all of this. I was just like, wow, like, we're just going to be that bold. So when we go to 94, this what really made me mad. I was ready to jump through the whole screen. So we go to 94, and essentially, Jamie takes Kate to the carnival. And then she makes a comment about him punching Kate, and he tries to shrug it off like, can we just move past this? And I was like, move past you hitting another woman no matter what she did? No, we can't move past it. What are you talking about, Jamie? That's not what Kate said, but that's what she should have said. But she was trying to get to another part of the story in which she basically says that she asks Jamie, like, do you actually want to be with me? And then she asks him about kissing Jeanette. So I'm thinking, like, Jamie, okay, you caught in the act. You gonna go ahead and just tell her the truth of what happened. But this fool say, I love you. So we're gaslighting now. So I just say that you were kissing somebody else. Do you want to be with me? You gonna say, I love you? Baby, that wasn't the answer to the question. That wasn't what I asked you. Okay? Answer the question. So I thought that finally, okay, another chance. Gonna tell the truth. No. Do you know that this fool had the audacity to sit up here, okay, and lie to her and say that he didn't kiss her when I know that she know that I saw that she saw that he kissed Jamie, that Jamie kissed Jeanette. Child, I can't even get these names together. I'm so upset. I can't even get the names together. Jamie, I know that you did not sit up here while I'm sitting up here watching you sit up here lie about kissing Jeanette. I know you didn't do that. That's fine. She says, you know what? I saw you. And do you know what this fool had the audacity to do? If he couldn't get any more trash than what he already was, do you know that he used this young woman's trauma against her to say that she didn't see what she thought she saw because of what she had been through? I said, wow, that's an all-time low there. You really used this woman's trauma against her to get you out of a lie? Wow. I was so happy Kate got up out of that car, because, baby, if I was sitting up in that car, Jamie would have got snatched up. Because, you know, it's one thing to lie to me, but it's another thing to then try to make me seem like I'm crazy, like my eyeballs don't work, okay? Because I saw you. And I was just really confused by that. I'm still upset. As you can see, I'm still just very upset at how that whole interaction took place. But we see that Kate goes into the carnival. Press is taking photos. They end up stopping the parents trying to interview her raggedy mama and her stepdad about everything that's happening. Jamie comes in trying to be like Captain Save-A-Ho and save her from the press, and then he tries to start talking to her. So I just think that, you know, maybe we're going to try to make this a little bit better, but like, no, the situation is just like far gone at this point. So we see that Kate ends up seeing Jeanette at the carnival, but hold on. So Kate ended up seeing, I can't even get my mind right because I'm still so mad about Jamie. Kate ended up seeing Jeanette, and then Mallory sees that she sees Jeanette, so Mallory grabs Kate's hand, takes her into the maze. Jeanette ducked behind, goes to follow her, and we'll talk about that when we get to Jeanette raggedy behind. But she ends up following her into the maze. They get lost. She ends up seeing a glimpse of Martin, so she's still dealing with that PTSD, the trauma of her being abducted. So when we go to 95, we see that she's still seeing glimpses of Martin. This time when she's getting ready in the morning, we see that she sees him in the mirror. When she looks in it, and he calls her a liar, referencing back to the note that was left on her door. So we see that she's still listening to the tapes now after the therapist told her this would be good to jog her memory. And this is when we hear her talk about how she lied about talking to Martin before. Also to another step of grooming, because like then it makes her feel like she's responsible for him abducting her because he was flirting with her, when really, baby, it's not your fault. It's Raggedy Martin's fault. So we see that as she's listening to these tapes, she's scribbling the name Annabelle. And I'm trying to figure out, so we're going to go a whole nother episode and we don't know who Annabelle is? Like, you just going to bring up a name and not tell us? Like, I just thought we were going to resolve this in the next episode, but I guess we're not going to do that. But we see that she's still having these conversations with her sister, Ashley, online, even though she doesn't know who it is that is actually Ashley. Mallory just invites herself through her window, asks her if she wants to go, wants to watch a movie. She kind of says that she heard a rumor that Jeanette's actually going to be in the donkey booth in order to pay for her legal fees. I'm assuming that was like just gossip. But we see that she ends up telling her to go to that she wants to go to carnival. They see Jamie. She thinks it's Jeanette at first, but then when Jamie takes the hat off, we realize it's his raggedy behind. And then she basically hits the bullseye to drop him into the dunking pool, which I wasn't mad at her after the whole incident that happened back in 93, because he trashed. Not 93, 94, because he trash. I still can't get these dates right because I'm so mad at Jamie. So we see that later on, she ends up seeing Jamie later on in the carnival, and essentially he's drunk. But at least he admits to her that he lied. I don't know why it took a whole year to do all of this, but he admits it. She makes him say it again, and she just gives him a kiss on the cheek because at this point, at least she feels as though that somebody believes her. Because remember, all these people are telling her time after time that, hey, they're going to poke holes in your story. Just make sure you're telling the truth. It's like no one actually believes that Kate's telling the truth. Hell, I ain't gonna lie, I don't believe that Kate's telling the truth, but that's the story for a different day. So it really meant a lot to her that someone actually said that they believe her. So we see that at the end of 95, we end up seeing that they go to Martin's grave. Now, Mallory looked real suspicious. I don't know why Mallory always looks suspicious. Maybe she just like is just a suspicious looking person. But the fact that she got Kate to go to the grave, put the bunny that Martin had gave her back in 93 in the grave, and then it like mess up his tombstone. I was just like, it's just something that don't still sit right in my spirit whenever I see Mallory. Whenever I see her, my spirit just be like, beware. Don't, some ain't right with her. Bad juju. I don't know. That's just how I feel every time I see Mallory. But we gotta talk about my girl, Jeanette. So we see that her and Mallory and Vince are trying to help her on her first date with Gideon. Gideon was not what I was expecting, but you know what? Gideon's probably grown up to be a very upstanding young man, okay? So the daddy is just all the way over it because he didn't know who the Cowboys were. And I was like, you know what? The Cowboys were like a big deal back in the 90s. I mean, we had little giants, I'm just saying. But we see that she's getting ready for her date. She has all this tacky jewelry. I was like, baby, why she got all these necklaces on, baby? Between the necklaces and then the hair, the wig that they be having her in for 95, my soul just couldn't take any more, okay? So we see that they end up going to the carnival. And essentially, I thought that Gideon was going to puke on the first rides that they were on. But they end up, they're having a good time. Like, they're chatting, they're chillaxing. He figured out what the word dope means. He used it in a sentence to show that he's listening to what Jeanette has to say. And so later we see that they end up doing this like little booth that Raggedy Martin is working. And essentially they're like playing, and then her two Raggedy previous best friends, but wasn't her best friends yet because we was back in the 93. They were making fun of her, and then she got embarrassed, and she ends up leaving Gideon. I said, ma'am, you really just sat up here and left Gideon? Like, y'all were having a good time? I was just like, it really hurts my soul that, like, kids really don't, like, they make fun of other people just to make themselves feel. I don't know. I just had a real issue with that. That really bothered me. And obviously, it bothered Martin enough in order to the point where he had to tell Gideon, like, hey, she's not coming back. Gideon basically went home, and then Martin sees her later on and then basically says, like, hey, like, you left him here by himself. Like, that's not right. It's not okay. But did you see the interaction with the scrunchie? Because I was like, first of all, clearly you used to be a Gideon, and I get that because you just give me, no, because I'm not even going to put that on Gideon. But he gives me creep vibes, so I can see him why he was triggered by that. But when she asked for Kate's scrunchie, and do you see how he was so upset that he had to give the scrunchie back to her? It was a bit much for me. I was just like, sir, that was a little bit much for me to have to witness. But we see that in 94, Jeanette's basically was going with her brother to the carnival, and she's asking, is Jamie gonna be here? And I was like, you feel comfortable asking your brother that after this boy didn't punch you in the face? I was just like, somebody come shake this girl. Because, like, let somebody hit me in the face. And I said that to my brother. My brother would have fought me. He would have fought me for trying to find Jamie. And the fact that she was on this mission, like trying to find Kate too, like she could just talk to Kate and everything will be okay. I was like, sis, how delusional are you this entire time? And so we see that because of everything that's been happening with Jeanette, that her mom is drunk. She's like drinking, like out of it, just drinking wine. Because she's talking about, well, I don't feel like going to the video store. Because last time I went to the video store, somebody spit on my car. So like, I'm done. So this is how her coping mechanism is to keep drinking. So I don't know what happened. But what I need to know, that's how he met Angela? That's how you met Angela? Her daddy? That's how you met Angela. And then you had the audacity to flirt with her in front of your daughter's friend, Vince. I was like, wow, you hella bold. Like, bold. I need the backstory on that because y'all just threw that little tidbit in there. And I said, I need the tea. I need the tea on this, okay? Because the way that this is stacking up is the whole way how did the whole Portia and Simon and all of that is stacking up in real life right now on Housewives of Atlanta. But that's a different story. That's a different show for a different day. But so we see they end up meeting, and then we end up seeing that Derek tells like Kate tells Jeanette after she like went in the maze looking for Kate and couldn't find her, that basically like, hey, the Wallaces are always gonna win, but I want you to know that I believe in you. But it's maybe time for you to let Jamie and Kate go. And I was like, thank you, Derek, for being such a good brother. He's the only person that's just been an upstanding person, him and his daddy. But now I gotta look at his daddy's side eye now because I'm trying to figure out, when did you and Angela start getting boom boom, getting freaky in the boom boom room? So, we go to 95. Jeanette, this wig, baby, this wig, and her sitting up here being disrespectful to this lawyer who's trying to save her life, it's just too much for me. And she's saying like, hey, like you need somebody else on your side. Vince was great. We need someone else. How about Mallory? And I was like, girl, Mallory, girl, no. When she's like, it's another starter, I was like, I agree with Jeanette. Just don't even go there because Mallory, heck no, some up with her. So we see that she has a conversation with her dad because the lawyer's telling you got to find someone that's on your side. So she has a conversation with her dad and she asks him like, are you on my side? And he was like, bruh, like, did I not lose my job, my life, my family? And I was like, at first I was feeling sorry, but now that they went back and showed me how he met Angela, how did you lose your family? Tell me. So he kind of made it seem like he was on her side, but then he was like, basically like that I know of, like that little caveat, like, will be, I guess, but like I'm side-eyeing you, like I think you could have did it. Like I wouldn't be shocked at this point. And so essentially, Angela ends up taking her to the bar. she sees her reading these like gossip magazines that has like Jeanette's pictures and stuff. She throws it in the trash, and she's just like, hey, like if you want someone to be on your side, you kind of have to let somebody else in. And so she takes her to the bar, and they start singing karaoke, and they was like, what's going on? The song is really What's Up that I didn't know. I thought it was What's Going On, but I guess I didn't call it What's Going On because Marvin Gaye has a song called What's Going On, but that has nothing to do with anything. But that was my jam. What's going on? I was like, go ahead now, sing the song. But we see that it's so sad because Jeanette literally like panics because she was like, for a moment she was having fun, and she literally can't even enjoy that she's enjoying karaoke because she feels like she has to be like punished. And so I'm trying to figure out like, what does she feel like she has to be punished for? But I'm happy that Angela basically says like, you deserve kindness, and like you shouldn't feel weird for being happy. So sorry y'all, had to sneeze, excuse me. So it is interesting though, I will say, when they're talking, and essentially she says like, Jeanette asks Angela, what do you see in my dad? And I see he's like a good person and is going through a really tough time. And then Jeanette tells her, I kind of think of him from the past on how I used to know him. And she was like, it's kind of like a recipe for disappointment. But we see the episode ends with both Jeanette and Kate coming home from the carnival back in 93, where Jeanette is like basically practicing how she's gonna tell Kate that she has her scrunchie, even though she don't know Kate to be taking her scrunchie home to be giving it back to her. And then Kate is practicing flirting with Martin. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Are people gonna tell them about, are the tapes gonna come up? Like, are they gonna play the tapes to show like Kate lied about knowing him? I don't know what's gonna happen, but I need the tea on Angela. I need the tea on Angela, okay? I know we're supposed to care about Kate and we're supposed to care about Jeanette right now. I need the tea on Angela. I need timelines. How did you lose your family, sir? That's what I need the answers to. That's the questions I need the answers to, okay? But this is another good episode of Cruel Summer. I love that they're giving us little by little. It's like they're giving us little, but they gave me a lot because I got distracted with the tea between Angela. So I need to know answers to that. But this is another great episode. I'm enjoying this series. I'm totally here for it. So those are my thoughts on Cruel Summer episode 5. Okay? As the Carney guys, as always, my name is Sharona from Pay Your Weights. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again,